So to roll the plantar fascia, which is the coating of the muscle that sits on the base of the foot, if you use a baseball, place it onto the floor. Now if you need a little bit of support, you can take your hands onto a windowsill, take the ball underneath the base of the foot, and then from here, just gently go from your heel towards the ball of your feet. Now you dictate the amount of pressure that you put into the ball as well. So if the plantar fascia is slightly inflamed or it feels quite tight, you don't have to push quite as hard. Go forwards and backwards, nice and steady. If you aim to do about 15 to 20 repetitions going forwards and backwards before you then swap onto the opposite side and do the same again on your opposite foot as well. So foam rolling the calves, first of all, we take the roller from the ankle towards the back of the knee. So if you start one leg at a time, place the roller just above your ankle, use the other foot by the side for a bit of support, place your hands behind your back, lift yourself up, and then a little bit like a rolling pin, just start by rolling from the ankle towards the back of the knee and start to assess where you can feel any sort of tightness or any hot spot areas. After you've rolled up and down a few times, go back to the most tender point, keep the pressure on it, and then if you can, try and take your other leg over the top to add a bit more pressure and hold that position for around 30 seconds or until you start to feel the pressure decrease. When you are foam rolling your calves, you can start with one leg and you can do that, and you can also turn out to the side so that you get the lateral head of the calf as well. So again, working from the ankle, working all the way up towards the knee, and then stopping at the point where it's most tender, sitting yourself down on the floor, placing the other leg over the top to add a bit more pressure, and again holding for around 30 seconds. You foam roll the quads, which sit on the top of the thigh. This time we have the roller in front of us. We come down into a plank position, so you're down onto your forearms, and if you start with the roller just above your knees first of all, position yourself on the floor so that you feel comfortable, and this time we're going to take the roller all the way up towards the top of the hips. Just reposition yourself as you go through. And as we go through this movement, we're looking for the areas that feel most tender. So as you find the spot that feels tender, you go back to it, you hold it for 30 seconds or until the pressure starts to release, and then we go back on looking for another tight spot afterwards. So foam rolling for the IT band. The IT band runs down from the hip flexors on the side of the pocket and then runs all the way down the outside of the knee and connects just below the knee joint. And it's a big connective tissue, so it's not quite like a muscle. So the way that we roll it is we take ourselves sideways onto the roller, position yourself with your forearm and your hand on the floor for a little bit of support. Take the roller just below your hip, so it's on the outside of the thigh, and then use the other leg for a little bit of support. And a little bit like a rolling pin, now we're going to roll all the way down towards the outside of the knee. And instead of stopping and holding for 30 seconds, this time what we're going to do is work the muscle a little bit more, like a rolling pin, all the way from the hip to the knee. Depending on how the pressure feels, you can also take one leg on top of the other. And again, try and get all the way down towards the knee, and then back up to the top. The important thing to note on this one is that the IT band can be quite tender, so if you need to take a little break in between, make sure that you do.